740 in the past couple of games, and now he's just trumped that with a 50 here today, and it's been a nice innings. 50 off 57. He's found the boundary. We're going to have a little hold up here because that's Holder actually, who's the man who dived and got across to that one.
His knee.
His knee is the problem. Yeah. Sometimes you can also, as you dive away to your right, you can land on your shoulder as well as you sort of, because he's tall timber, isn't he? He's a big man.
Yes.
In fact, they could sort of lie length to length, the West Indies, around the arc of the offside. I would think it would be difficult to get it through. Because you put Brathwaite and then Holder and then people like that.
Not look good. He's in some pain there with that right knee. But Thomas will bowl full, and it's guided out very nicely. Play down for a single to third man off the bat of Fernando. He's on to 51, and the throw-ins not particularly tidy either. So a little bit of hobbling around. Are we through the finger pointing at each other and the exclamation from what's going on? I think they're a little bit calmer out there now, but just a little bit of hobbling around for the captain at this stage. And the score of 196 for 3 after 33 overs.
It has a solid look about 32, 64, 51 not out, 39, and of course Angelo Matthews just coming in there. It's only faced one ball, so he's not out. But someone's got to make a difference here for their side, and if you get to a position of the 50 or the 60, that may not win you a game unless everybody gets it. You've got to go on and become sort of a 80, a 90, 100, 120 to really base these middle innings of around, and that's what a lot of sides who have found that they haven't gone on. You get the Bairstow getting to 100, you get the Williamson getting 140. You know, they win games for you. Those innings make a difference for your side. That's what Sri Lanka need here today.
Not the cameos.
So it's nicely poised in that sort of sense. Can they get to 300 for the first time?
Allen in, and it's aerial, and it's to the vacant area, and one bounce 4 out through deep extra cover. Start of the next over from Allen. So 4 to Fernando. He moves on to 55. Sri Lanka to 200 for 3 in the 34th over. His 55 off 59 deliveries. And if this is the start of Sri Lanka saying, well, you know, we can't qualify for the semi-finals, we know we can't do that, so this is where our next journey begins here today. Let's get a little bit of confidence in our middle order, let's get some runs, let's get the win. Well, they're putting themselves in a good position, but as Jeremy's just said, it's lead acting performances that are needed, not the supporting roles, and perhaps Fernando is the man today to take the Golden Globe for leading actor. Who knows? 55 from 59 balls. What's the problem? We can't have lost a ball. There's in the crowd, have we? What's the delay? We've had a few of these rather frustrating. It does give me a chance to say good afternoon to Graham Swan.
Hello, Kevin.
Graham.
There's definitely something in the air tonight for Fernando, isn't there?
Your near spiritual home here.
Oh, I know. It's lush, isn't it? How are the lads?
And
that was a glorious shot, by the way.
Yeah.
Fernando down the wicket over wide extra cover. You missed my ABBA joke there, starting off.
Oh, sorry.
There's definitely something in the air tonight.
Fernando.
Yeah, never mind. When you have to explain them, they're never great.
Well, you're too quick for me. You've known that straight away. You need to give me a good 5 or 10 minutes.
I tell you what, though, Durham, Chestnut Street ground looks an absolute picture. Sorry, Riverside, Durham. Looks absolutely gorgeous.
And the number of overseas visitors that I've come across today and a couple of days ago for the game against South Africa, who said exactly the same thing. It is, as many a cricket ground, not particularly good when the weather's grubby. But on
chilly.
Yeah, but on a good day,
feel it in your bones.
But on a good day, you'll struggle to beat this one.
Yes, glorious.
Hello, Phil.
Right, quick ball update.
Thank you.
They went over here, found a new one from the suitcase, checked it, made sure it was similar to the old ball, and then the ball that had been lost.
We lost it?
Yeah, it suddenly appeared, it was thrown back on, so now we're back to the ball wheel.
Do you think someone was trying to quicker memento of the day?
And thought better of it.
Or it might have hit someone's liquid refreshment.
Oh, and they were drying it off before they returned it.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we have a ball we can play, which is good news. 200 for 3 in the 34th over, and the next ball is pushed back up to Fabian Allengren.
It was actually hit into the part of the stand where I once witnessed Superman split up a fight between Mario from Super Mario Kart and Spider-Man.
And you're into that sort of stuff. This not fighting necessarily, but those characters. This one is pushed into the offside, and there should be no run. So
sorry,
is
it
that
wasn't Spider-Man. It was a stormtrooper. Mario had spilt beer into the stormtrooper's helmet, and they were probably kicking off, and Superman ran down and broke it up. Next
delivery, and that's pushed into the offside. Oh, and they'll have to scamper back in. But as I say, because of your understanding of these characters,
the Marvel universe,
are you prepared to accept that is really what would have happened?
Superman would definitely have done the good deed on the day.
Superman over Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper's got a laser cannon, but
didn't have it on the time. It wouldn't matter. So, no. Next delivery. Played to the right of Allen. He terrific caught and bowled earlier, but can't gather that one in. So it's a single, and it's 201 for 3.
All I can say is a way to diffuse a potentially dangerous situation. It was magical. And the whole ground watching and cheering, including the players. I think it was against Australia.
Brilliant stuff. Well, as I say, most of the colour we can see today is from the Sri Lankan flags. However, I think we're going to have a little bit of carnival as well, because they've been busy in the building behind us, which is sort of a sports centre and athletics area around the back. But they've been busy putting their costumes on, getting themselves ready. And I've seen them sort of wandering around the outside of the ground. So whether it be during the interval or at some point, maybe it's going on as we speak, but outside the perimeter here, we're going to have a bit of carnival. LBW appeal. It's Matthews who's been questioned there. We can't really see too much.
Skidding down the leg side. It was a quicker ball. Matthews went back to it. It didn't turn, so it thudded in. The bowler gave the game away by darting off to the leg side before he appealed. So that's where the ball was going.
201 for 3 after 34 overs. Fernando on 56. Matthews yet to get off the mark. I say the element of the game we're looking at here is, can the West Indies improve? Because they've not really been on it today in terms of their bowling. Their fielding is just sort of improving a little. They've been struggling there a little. But also Sri Lanka's middle order. Can they go on and perform? Because they failed to do so.
They've not had a good couple of weeks, have they?
No. So that's
I like Jeremy's idea, by the way, of all the West Indies just lying down, linking up limbs to completely blockade the offside.
Just to get the measurement would be quite interesting. What it would be from head to toe.
Do you know if you put 10 West Indian cricketers head to toe, it goes to the moon and back twice?
Maybe so. So. Gabriel has bowled 3 overs, no wicket for 28. He crosses himself as he's about to bowl. Shannon Gabriel in for Kemar Roach. The understanding being that Kemar Roach is unwell, not feeling complete onsen today. So Shannon Gabriel comes in from the Finkel end, right arm in and bowls, and angled down to third man for a single. So the score predictor is saying that Sri Lanka should get over the 300 mark. They've been struggling, and in fact have failed to get over the 250 mark so far. So I'm just having a look at the replay of that last ball of the last over, which shows, whichever you prefer, that he was missing the stumps.
I tell you what, this pitch, the actual wicket at Durham, looks an absolute belter. When it first opened here years ago, as many new grounds are, the Rose Bowl was the same. The wicket takes a few years to settle in, and it was quite a harrowing place to bat against Steve Harmison. Dennis Betts, ball flying around your ears off a length, but over the last few years it's an absolute batting dream.
You know me, because I'm in dangerous territory if I pick someone up on something. But it's just the picture you've just conjured up for me. There's the reason why I'm going to mention this in a moment. When you say Dennis Betts, do you mean Melvin
Betts?
Because the idea of Dennis Betts, it's even rugby league, for those that don't know, even more fascinating. I really would want to run out into it. And then through the fielder there at mid-on, and we'll come back for 2, which shouldn't have been, and direct throw, which the bails fly up almost into the eyes and face of Gabriel, and this is what I was sort of referring to about the slightly chaotic scenes that we've seen here at times from the West Indies. The outcome of it all, 2 runs.
Oh, it did hit him straight in the face. Oh. Flashy bail in the face of Gabriel. Barely flinched, mind.
Well, yes.
Is he the police officer? Is that Shannon Gabriel? Back home.
Back to his mark. And just a little shuffle before he breaks into his stride, in past the umpire now, in and bowl, low past the off stump, swing of that, trying to drive it fairly loose, very loose, 204 for 3 in this 35th over. Well, sad to say that the reason I would flinch even more...
you wouldn't flinch?
Was the fact that I was at Somerset the day that Mark Boucher took that one in the eye, and that was horrific. So it can be very, very dangerous. But on this occasion, the game continues. Jason Holder giving a big wave to the man out there on the cover boundary. A big wave, and he moves barely a yard to his right-hand side. Matthews on 2. Next delivery. In and bowls. Just back of a length and pushed square on the offside. That man has to go a yard he wouldn't have had to go to if they hadn't pushed him back by that yard, but he still gets the ball, and they get 1 run. And we're just having a look at it now. We're looking at that on the replay of that bail flying towards the eye of Gabriel, and it's sort of,
he was flat-sided.
Yeah, exactly, and sort of touches the top of the eye and everything as well. And you know, just for an extra, just a little turn, it could have been a completely different story. But anyway, it's 205 for 3, and 2 balls left of the 35th over. Fernando on 57, not out. And slight changes in the field, which means that Fernando says, "Hold on, I'm not quite ready. I'll have a gander where all the fielders have been positioned." The man on the cover boundary is now square, and that's wide of the off stump, and can't reach for that. Bless you, Graham. He's up a little of the old Chester Street pollen, possibly. I don't know. But it is very breezy. If there is something, they'll be flying around in this gusty wind today. There's nobody there in the slips, and that's 4 more for Fernando. He's on to 61 and 209 for 3 after 35 overs to round off that over. Yeah, but there just seems such a massive sky.
You can see so much of it. You haven't got the huge stands blocking out from the distance,
which just makes, I think, just brilliant. And then you've got your features like your Lumley Castle the way to the right hand side, and the green of the trees on the park, and the Riverside Park where all the families from this part of the world will go. There's some great play areas there for the kiddies and that sort of thing. It's a great spot. It really is. It just, if you wanted to be a little bit picky, perhaps could have done with a little bit of closer public transport at times. I guess that's the only thing. But the station's very close, and here for this. And for all the major events, they've got the park and ride in operation. I presume and understand that's been working brilliantly.
And it's got the world's greatest football club about 10 miles away.
Very close, very close. Is Sunderland
managerless? Shush. That's the easiest joke, wasn't it?
Well, I'm the one to tell them. 203.
Well, I'm up here. If I could get an interview, that'd be great.
Next delivery is pushed away for a single. Poor old Rafa. This morning he's come out with this quote that said they didn't share my vision. The club didn't share my vision.
How can you not share a vision with Raf?
One of the nicest.
Oh, well.
210 for 3 in the 36th over.
Bring back Keegan.
Alan again coming around the wicket in and bowls, and pulled away to Chris Gale, who gets down.
Fortunately, the ball went straight to Chris Gale, so he was able to stop it a yard either side.
Which is a shame, because for those that he somehow has missed, it gets some of the biggest cheers.
Yes.
In the ground. Alan around the wicket again, plays back, and this time Chris does move a little to his left, but he can't gather the ball, and they will go through for a single, and 211 for 3. 3 balls remain in the 36th over. So Graham is going to stay here for a little longer, but he will be joining us during the interval, talking to Charles about where exactly England find themselves after yesterday's victory, and looking ahead to the game against New Zealand. This one is punched up towards the long off boundary for a single for Matthews. He's on to 5, 212 for 3 2 balls left to the 36th over.
Had a very warm, fuzzy feeling about myself yesterday after that game.
Good.
They're back. The boys are back.
Yeah. And Allen will bowl again, playing back, and just no room for him to try and work that ball away with his wrists or anything onto the leg side. He has to just send it straight back to Allen. Pulled off an excellent and caught-on ball for Kusal Mendes on 39. Looking for another wicket now. This is in the air through mid-wicket. He's been played very well. It's not so much plugs, but hits the ground and slows up considerably. So it's 2. And 14 for 3 after 36 overs. Fernando on 64, Matthews on 5. Charles Dagner will come and join Graham Swan in a moment.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, yesterday was a lovely feeling. Who'd have thought 2 years ago that Jason Roy would be such a national treasure? It's nice to see England playing with a bit of verve and some confidence again. Quieting down the 95% Indian crowd at Edgbaston. Hello, Charles.
Hello, Graham.
How are you today, mate?
Very good. What a lovely day in the north.
Isn't it just?
We shall talk much more England at the mid-innings break.
Yes. I felt I just had to get it out.
You had to burst it out.
Yes.
You had to burst forth. Well, it's Shannon Gabriel who's coming in from the Finkel end. Big frame of Gabriel hurls his first delivery down. It's cut away out into the deep. Just be a single though. Into the 37th over we are with Sri Lanka 215 for 3. Yeah, it's a little bit more breezy than it was a couple of days ago. That was a nice day. Shame we didn't have a game to go with it, really. Sri Lanka, South Africa that we had. Very comfortable win for the South Africans. Meaningless, but comfortable.
Of course,
maybe not to them.
If you've got a lot of bad weather around, you have to rely on the northeast to sort it out.
Well, absolutely. Timed the pants off it, haven't they? Hope it stays true.
Always
for
sunny in
Wednesday.
God's country.
Gabriel again, 85 on his back, long run up past the umpire, bowls, and there's been carved to backward point. There is no run.
Oh, I did the odd fake throw thing. Backward point, and Allen fielded the ball, did the fake throw, get back in your crease to the batsman. All you league cricketers up and down the country will be very familiar with this. It's normally the young upstart for the opposition who fields at backward point. Plenty to say.
Got a word.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
And then the batsman stays out of his crease. He goes, go on then, have a go. Be my guest.
There's a little toing and froing from batsman's field. Look on a day to throw it.
I'm not sure that went on in the middle today.
Gabriel got a long on, the captain at long on. Then bowls short of a length. Has been cuffed and carved away for 4. Loose from Gabriel, and Fernando, who moves to 60 out, is not going to miss out on an opportunity to crash a boundary. 90 miles an hour it may be. There's 90 miles an hour a wrong way, and it seemed like it gained pace after it came off the bat. 4 more runs to Sri Lanka to 19 for 3.
Yeah, he's only a small player, Fernando. He reminds me a lot in his general demeanour of Mahela Jayawardena, sort of size-wise. And the way he plays, he's not quite in the same class as Jayawardena, and very few ever have been. But it was a lovely little uppercut over the top.
Well, it was the extra pace and a bit more bounce as well, allowing him to do that, getting it over the infield. So Gabriel, his response, he's been expensive today, is Shannon Gabriel. Comes towards Fernando now. Bowls another slightly slower delivery. I wonder if he got a feather of an edge on that, because the slower delivery bounces in front of Shea Hope, the keeper. But yeah, 76 miles an hour. But I just wonder if he got a little edge on that. We'll take a look at the replay.
I think he did.
Yes, he did. Just didn't carry.
The bowler and keeper didn't have their little signal. Come a bit closer.
Did you ever have a signal for a different
when I was a kid?
Was coming? Did you?
If I tossed the ball up in my left hand to my brother, when my brother was a keeper when we were young, it meant I was going to bowl it down the leg side so we could get a stumping.
Oh,
we were banned from doing it one game because we got 5 in an over.
Did you? What level of cricket was that?
It's the under-11s county final, I think.
Well, if something works. Gabriel again. Oh, it's a big full toss, a slower delivery, maybe trying it out the back of the hand. Is it going to be signal no ball? It has been. So over waist height. Gabriel, yeah, he's all at sea today. Doesn't know where it's going. 100 well, he's 0 for 41 or 4.4. So it was a slower delivery. And now with Sri Lanka 221 for 3, I don't think the umpire has... Oh, I think a bat's been broken again.
That was a slow...
As far as backward point. No harm done, just the no ball runs that were accrued from that section of play. 221 for 3 in the 37th. Matthews 6 from 9.
Very good free hit delivery, that.
Yeah.
Slightly wide of the crease, angled in at the toes, Yorker length.
I was speaking to Curtly Ambrose about this, Sir Curtly Ambrose, about this, just before the match started. And you know the start that the West Indies got off to in the World Cup against Pakistan?
Yes.
Where they bumped and shook up the Pakistan side, bowled them out for just over 100.
Yeah.
Knocked them off easily. As Gabriel runs past the umpire, tickled away for 4. Beautifully played by Angelo Matthews, or I say 4, it's just holding up actually a little bit before the boundary. Ambrose in hot pursuit, and then he stumbles over awkwardly, and I think he might have twisted an ankle in so doing. That wasn't a very nice fall. He hands the ball back to his teammate and hurls the ball back in. So Matthews picks up 3, 224 for 3. But this was a nasty little turning of the ankle by...
Ooh, just seen the replay, yeah.
Sunil Ambrose. He's done well, actually, not to nudge the ball onto the boundary as well.
I tell you what, I'd have him in my relay team. He was fast.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, no time.
So, 3 runs picked up, and now there's a slight delay as Ambrose is in a bit of trouble. I think, is there a physio coming out? Or someone's jogging around the outfield on the circumference of the boundary, just going out to Ambrose. But that was an awkward little tumble there for Ambrose, and so there's a slight delay here as the West Indies 224 for 3. I think they're checking for the boundary as well. I think he was safe. I think he managed to pick up and not touch the rope. I'm going to take a closer look at this, get an eagle eye on it. Graham Swan has left us for the moment, so Curtly Ambrose back alongside me, and they are content that it wasn't 4. 3 onto the total, so 224 for 3, 37 overs gone. Gabriel going at 9s, 5 overs, 0 for 46. Fernando 69 not out. Matthews is 9 not out, and now Ambrose is off, getting a little bit of treatment, so no doubt the 12thers will come on to replace him. And
looks like he's on his ankle a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it was a nasty little one.
Yeah,
he was going at good speed as well, chasing after that ball. So fingers crossed all is well, and we're almost ready to get back underway. Jason